Hey everybody, it's Mike from Orderflows, and it's Friday, what is it, September 2nd, 2020. And, today was non-farm payrolls, and wow, it was a very roller coaster day. The number came out, the market rallied, sold off a little bit after the cash open, rallied again to new highs, and then sold off. But once it hit a certain level, I think it was 39.98, it was all over. I didn't think the market was going to come back. And just really quick, if you remember yesterday, September 1st, right, we had that big rally up late in the day. We had the lows yesterday just around 10 in the morning, just after 10, and then had a high of around 39.30. But just around 12 o'clock, we hit the 39.06 level, and then we just rallied the rest of the day, made new highs going into the close. And that was a big move. You're talking from '06 all the way up into the 70s. And I remember early this morning, people are saying, oh, these banks, everyone, they had the inside scoop on the number. They're all buying in here at 20. And, look at what happened today. Right, we rallied up, then we sold off, came down towards yesterday's low. And there were some interesting things up here in the order flow around this 39.98 and 39.88 and a quarter level. And let's take a look at the order flow. So this was the cash open, right? So we were rallying. Obviously we had a number at 7:30 this morning, Chicago time, rallied up, and around 8:25 we hit a new high, and cash just opened and selling came in, right? We had a nice sell-off of about 30 points. We got down to, what was it? I think around in here, 70 something. We put in this low, sort of went sideways. Then we rallied right back up and started making these new highs right up in here. And then just sort of went sideways. It looked like we were going to break, but once we got, we spent a lot of time going sideways. It was around 11 o'clock that the sell-off started happening. We're up here near the highs of the day, and you're seeing there's little pockets of buying, but then there's selling also coming in, right? The deltas, even though you have some buying, 300, 160, 299, 204, 437, you'd still get the selling would come in right after that, negative delta 183, 118, 130, 154, some smallish delta in here. And then it just seems like more selling than buying in terms of delta. And then the market just started coming off around 11 o'clock. Okay, and we're trading still above 4,000 at that point. But this is where it got really interesting. This 39.98 level, big bids in here. You can see the volume that traded on the footprint. Let me expand this. 32.35. Right above it was 978. And then what happened once this level broke? You see, the market just dropped, right? We just quickly dropped about a quick 10 points. But what was interesting was that volume, 32.35. If you see the volume on a lot of these bars preceding it, just this price level, the volume on that bid is more than a lot of the volumes on these bars. This one was 2,900, 2,200, 1,600, 3,900, 2,400. Here you got 3,200. You do have a couple bars here. This was 4,500. This was 3,500. But that's strong volume just at that level. And, anytime I see strong volume at one level, and I mean, this is like off the Richter scale volume in terms of, how the E-minis have been trading recently. And, granted, it's non-farm payroll day, so you're going to get a lot more volatility. That's why you see a lot of these bars are quite big, in terms of size, the distance it covers to transact, right? Because that's really what volatility is. It's price looking for volume. It's price moving, trying to find areas where there's liquidity, and when you have lack of liquidity, that creates volatility. But it came in here, right? That's why you see this bar is very small, right? You don't have that volatility because there's that volume there. People are transacting. You got a big bidder in here, right? Between 98 and a quarter, just on the bid side, there's 4,000 contracts. So what I was watching for is, if we break this level, what's going to happen afterwards? And what happens afterwards? Boom, stack selling imbalance. Now this is probably, a big seller came in. There's probably, if you were to look at the replay of how it traded, it's hitting it. Then someone just came in and whacked it all. Probably triggered some stops because a lot of people see this as a level, right? We haven't been trading 39.88 for quite some time, right? Just draw this line and go back, see what last time we were trading this 98 level was back here at 923. Okay, so we 98, we got all the way up into the teens, above 4,000, and we're coming back down in here. Everyone sees this level. Everyone, is looking at Bookmap, these heat maps. They can see there's a big buyer in here. But if that level breaks, which it did, and you see that aggressive selling, and people talk about, in market profile, there's initiative buying, initiative selling, responsive buying, responsive selling. We're starting to break down. Now you're seeing this is what's initiative selling. People coming in, they're selling below value in anticipation of lower prices. And again, this bar broke. It broke from, 88 and a quarter or 88 and a quarter down all the way down to, that's 98 and a quarter down to 88 and a quarter. It's a 10-point drop immediately. And it hits this 88 and a quarter. And there's another big bid sitting there in the market. Okay, first time it trades 86 contracts. Then the markets just go inside on you for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars, 6 bars, 7 bars. But you can see the volumes, 1458, 24. There's a big bid in here again. It's close to, this is 3,000, 4,000, right? 24 plus 439, that's about 3,000, 4,500. Even above it, you're seeing big volumes because everyone sees this big bid. Everyone's trying to step in front of this bid and buy it, right? Oh, now we're going to bounce. What was interesting, it's about 10 points, from 8 even down, 98 even down to 88 and a quarter. Got another big bidder in here, and the market's it's kind of holding, right? You can see it held this level once it really started pounding into it. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Was there any really rally? Not really. About 2-point rally. This time it just blew right through that level, and then it finally broke that level. Now you don't see that initiative selling in here. I mean, sure, they're selling. People are hitting these bids. But what was interesting is you don't have that stacked imbalance the way that you had it right here. Okay. And this market sold off. It sold off down to 85 and a quarter, and it rallied right back up to, back up to that level, 88 and a quarter, 89. Actually closed up, right? Had a small delta of minus 142. Normally this bar is a type of bar I like to get long on, right? It had that big negative delta, and it closed up. It had a small negative delta, so it gained a lot of it back. It looked like it was going to start to rally, but it didn't, right? It went up 3 price levels. That's enough for me to get excited. Honestly, I thought this market was going to start rallying off this. But again, what we had, big size up here. Now we got big size down here. We're trading below it. If you have big size you're looking to be support of the market, you shouldn't be trading below it. Once you start taking out these support levels, what's left to support the market? Nothing, right? So, this is, even though this is normally bullish for me, it's coming in below a support level, right? Now, trading 101 is you buy support, you sell resistance. But when you break support or you break resistance and you spend more time below it necessarily than above it, you're probably not going to hold anymore, right? Support and resistance doesn't hold forever. It's just like, hold the line, right? Us apes stronger together. Well, once the line gets broken, it's weak, right? You can't be thinking this as support. Now you got to start looking for potential shorts because, one, you got some nice bullish information and the market's not rallying off this. So forget about it being support at this point, right? You broke support here, you broke support here. Now we're just sort of hovering around this support. We're nowhere near back up this 98 level. So, kiss this 98 level goodbye for the day. Now we're starting to see bearish stuff coming in the order flow. Nice strong negative delta, 400, followed by 1100. Now we're seeing that initiative selling coming in here, the stack selling imbalance, and it's just look out below, right? And then the market sells off quite nicely, right? And almost methodically all the way down. Again, there's even though you see these little bounces, there's not buying opportunities, right? There's nothing really presenting itself in the order flow screaming out, hey, buy me, right? We're market's cheap, buy it now, right? Even though it's non-farm payrolls and, historically non-farm payrolls closes up on the day. Now we're coming under a lot of selling pressure, flow-driven market, divergence. Here's a bullish ratio, and we're just going sideways. Why isn't this market rallying, right? You're starting to see signs of aggressive buying coming in here, but the market can't rally. It's not rallying off that. All you're seeing really is just sort of profit taking and identifying that what kind of a market that we're in. Right now, again, we're just trading 39.98, basically 4,000, and an hour and a half later, we're trading, back down in the 39.30s. Right, you're starting to see more divergences, divergence. What is a divergence? Well, it's a new or equal low with positive delta. In this case, these are bullish divergences, and we're just taking them out with impunity. Right, it's not standing in the way. What's happening is, obviously, in a flow-driven market, I mean, it's one thing to say, oh yeah, we're making these new lows, we're in a flow-driven market after we just sold off 70 points. I mean, that should be obvious already. But again, one of my favorite trades is watching when you get in these failed divergences, understanding we're in a flow-driven market, the great shorting opportunities, okay? And you're going to be looking, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4 within, this is from 12:27 to 12:30, so within 10 minutes. So it's quite strong, right? This one the market did bounce up off of, but again, you just got to be ready to short those, right? Because in a flow-driven market, you really got the other time frame traders, right? The big money, the guys with the deep pockets that are driving this market. They don't care about support at this level. I mean, it was obvious earlier when you saw the big size, right? When you saw the 3,500 contracts, the 4,500 contracts, and the market just sort of got through it, right? Got through the 3,500 contracts very easily. The 4,500, it took a little bit more time to get through, but it got through that. So you should already spot the type of market that we're in. It doesn't have to necessarily be making new lows to be saying, oh, we're in a flow-driven market to the downside. That should have been obvious, 50 points higher. But then you're coming down in here, it's still being flow-driven, right? Because any little buying opportunity is failing, and then it just keeps dropping, right? It drops all the way down to 39.25. Even later, again, it looks like maybe, this is it. We're going to stop. That's our low for the day. It just sort of hangs around, and then the selling continues, right? More failed divergence, right? We get all the way down, literally down to, the 06 level, right? And it was interesting because this 06 level yesterday in the order flow, just draw this line here. Go back to yesterday when we hit that 06 level. Remember yesterday the low was like 3.25 or 3.5 or something. But yesterday, look at that, we hit that. Where is it here? We came down to it right in here. This is before that big rally back up. Just before 12 o'clock. You're coming into this area, right? And I did this video yesterday talking about these side by side, these aligned point of controls being support. Next time you come down and test it, this is coming in at 6.5, right? Our level that we hit today was 06. So yeah, we got through it by, I'll just draw the other one because this is where the level started, right here, 6.5. But so it was interesting that we came back literally. I mean, we did overshoot it by 2 ticks here to the low of 06, but shit, we just sold off almost 115 points for the day, not ticks, 115 points, and you just overshot it by, this is 6.5, so 2 ticks, and then put in this big monster, I'll say big monster rally. It was big rally from the 6.5 area all the way up into the 20s right there, before it hit that, and then it went higher to close the day. But when you see it come up in here going into the close again, getting out in the 20s would have been a good area. But still, it's just one of those coincidence things that it happened. It's I don't like to pull those levels from the day before, but I just thought it was interesting because yesterday I posted that video about the point of controls. When you get 2 in a row acting as support and resistance, and then what happens today, we literally hit that level by, you just get past it by 2 ticks. But again, we just had this monster sell-off from the high of the day down to the low of the day. So I'm not surprised to see it take it out by a couple of ticks. Then the market rallied in. But what was interesting on here is you had the stack selling imbalance here in this green bar. That's why we draw this area as blue, because that's a bullish sign. and the market did pop back up off that. Again, that was going into the close. But you know, if you made it to this time at 2:50 in the afternoon, if you'd been trading all day, you know, hats off to you. Congratulations. You probably just felt like you've been in treading, not treading water, but like swimming in the ocean in the heavy waves all day long, because it was pretty I'll say nasty day, but you know, it's very active, you know, robust trading day, a lot of opportunities. So I hope you guys found this video useful. You know, it's funny because, you know, I'll get comments from people saying, oh, you know, 2020 is hindsight. Well, yeah, you know, the reason I make these videos is to show you guys things that what to look for. So next time it happens, you know, hopefully it'll register in your head. Oh yeah, you know what, Mike explained this to me before. It's not like, you know, that's why, you know, football players review tapes, right? That's why baseball players review tapes of how pitchers pitch. All that sort of information is useful to us as traders, right? It's not just about sitting there and you can only watch the market in real time. No, you still got to go back and look at what happened and put the pieces together, so the next time it happens, when you're in front of the screen in real time, you know how to react. Okay, so if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, put some comments below, positive comments. Keep it positive, guys. I mean, that's the whole reason for doing things like this. You know, everyone wants to improve the trading. So thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.